Hello, hello, and welcome to Awaken Your Human Design. My name is Moni. This is my wonderful co-host, Danny. And for the week of August 16th through the 22nd, the sun will be in gate 29 and the earth in gate 30.
This is a match made in heaven. These are two of my favorite gates. I'll explain why when we get into the next slides.
Perfect. Well, thank you to everyone who is watching and liking and commenting and hanging out with us. We love having you here, and let's get into it. So here we can see on our mandala body graph on the wheel, we have the sun in gate 29, which is perseverance, and it is a sacral gate, and the earth in gate 30, which is the clinging fire, and it's a solar plexus gate.
Yeah, so 29 commits itself or not, and 30 is just burning with this feeling of some sort, or many feelings, not sure which feeling. And so together, they say yes to the most incredible things or not.
Here we have the sun in gate 29, which is the abysmal and the gate of perseverance. The deep within the deep. Persistence despite difficulties has its inevitable rewards. Gate 29 is a sacral gate, part of collective circuitry, so you can think sharing as the keynote, and it's part of the sensing circuit specifically. Gate 29 links up with gate 46, which is the determination of self, and the 2946 make up the channel of discovery. When answering yes, gate 29 commits its energy to something or someone new and will persevere through whatever the cycle of discovery brings. Perseverance is cyclical. Each correct commitment made supports the maturation of your full potential for discovering who you are in relationship to others and the world.
I love that. So the perseverance is cyclical. It wanes, it ebbs, and it flows. The thing is, when it flows, it's on, isn't it? And they're both this and 30 are part of the abstract sensing circuit is the thing. So when 29 is saying yes and getting its move on, basically getting its momentum rolling for the thing that it's getting into, it becomes the type of perseverance that you're stuck with. You just have to do it. I dug a hole today. I was telling you, before we came on, I was stuck with it. It was right up to dark and bugs were biting. I had to finish. It's that type of thing, and it's because it's a generator thing. And 29 says yes to the experience, and it gives us the capacity to step into the now as it relates to experiences. Because when it connects to 46, that thing is saying you've got to be in the experience. And only when it's done do you get to 13 and 33, the two gates above it, stop and really reflect on it as a species, as humanity. And the old I Ching language called it the abysmal because imagine just being stuck in the thing that you have to do if it's part of the maturation circuitry, because, right, it's conditioned by its format channel. We went over those. And because of that, it has to reach some ending point. To just stop is so anti-satisfying. So it becomes this abysmal. It's time to make the donuts. It's time to dig the hole. It's time to keep saying yes to the thing. My crazy girlfriend had this crazy feeling, and I'm in it, and now we're gonna finish it. And it's a week later. I didn't plan on all that, but I said yes, and we started. So be careful. People with gate 29 find themselves in lots of things that they didn't want to step into because there was an excitement. Someone came up. It's sharing, right? It's in the abstract sharing, not the logical sharing. At least will have conditions, right? Logical will be like, well, yeah, we're sharing this. Check this out. Well, hold on. I'm not going to tell you if you're going to X, Y, and Z. So it has limits on how it can share. It can put a stop in there. But the wildness of feelings, anybody you're sharing with that is into that in that moment is a potential share partner. So there isn't a logical stop for it. It just goes in. And 29, once it generates that pulse of going into the thing, that's it. You're in. And this is the kid that says, hang on one more second, because they're doing one last thing to their project, to their thing, and they can't come to dinner, and they can't turn off their light to go to bed. And by the way, that's all of us. I don't have a gate 29, and this happens to me sometimes. But 29 brings it into the world. So we need that. We need that. Because sometimes the commitment is to something wicked important.
Just to circle back, because you mentioned it, you're referring that gate 29 and 46 as that channel. It's part of the collective sensing circuitry, and it's formatted. Just for reference, that's going to be gates 53 and 42 that's the format channel for the 29 and then into the 46. So that 53 is that root pressure to begin something, and then the 42 is that sacral response to want to complete it and bring it to maturation. So gate 29 is formatted by that kind of beginning and endings kind of energy.
And it's important to note, you don't need to have either of those two gates in your body graph. You don't need to have that channel. The reason Moni points this out is because the format channels, those three at the bottom, they format and add their distinctiveness to every other channel in that circuitry, whether you have those gates or not. It's in the world, it's in your family, it's in the outside. As soon as you walk out there, it's there. So that's why all the channels are steeped in this particular format of maturation, beginning it and then ending it. So hopefully that clarifies.
Yeah, and I'll put the link up in the description box up above so people can watch that video, because we did a whole series on the format.
It's good.
It was
it's
really
good. Yeah.
Here we have the Earth in gate 30, which is the clinging fire and the gate of feelings. Freedom recognized as an illusion and limitation accepted as fate. Gate 30 is an emotional solar plexus gate, part of collective circuitry. So sharing is our keynote, and it's part of the sensing circuit specifically. Gate 30 links up with gate 41, which is contraction, and the 4130 make up the channel of recognition. Gate 30 is about experiences which are conceived from desire, meeting life on the highs and lows of the emotional wave. Desire feeling like an obsessive hunger, weaving the yearnings of different lives together, influencing your every interaction until it is satisfied or fulfilled.
Or it has accepted the limitation, which is the limitation is the old Rolling Stones song for this and technically 36 as well. You can't always get what you want. Remember that song? But if you try sometimes, you'll get what you need. Mm-hmm. And the reason you get what you need regardless is because 29 is the opposition to this gate, persevering to go through the thing. So there'll be 30 things you feel something about, and gate 30 has got a certain kind of feeling about every last thing. And as it clings to these feelings and it wants this freedom to express the thing, ultimately it just has to recognize you don't always get what you want. So this is where it falls into its fire. This is where it burns itself up. It doesn't accept that. It just doesn't accept it because, but I wanted it, And the lack of acceptance guarantees a bunch of crazy making, because its opposition 29 says, hey, dude, I got all this stuff. We can do this. We can at least try, and 30 is stuck saying, well, I just don't get to have it regardless. And that's this limitation accepted as fate. The limitation is just you can't always get what you want. Gate 30 really just needs to make peace with, if gate 30 becomes a pro at finding joy in the things it does get, like truly, without being hampered by the things it didn't get and keeping it in its mind and going over it and being bummed about it, if it allows itself to be just fulfilled, every couple of months or 4 or whatever, because something took place, those fulfillments will come more often. And the acceptance of the things that don't take place. If you're a gate 30, you know damn well you're bummed. You are bummed. You can describe the bummedness for many, many times when you couldn't get what you wanted. And you felt a special kind of way, and it had a lot of words, and you could describe it, and you tried to share those words with others, and you shared it all with other people, or you found yourself shutting up about it, and you didn't like that because you wanted to. Again, it's in the collective circuitry until you finally accept it. So I love this description. Conceived from desire, meeting lifelong highs and lows of the emotional wave and an obsessive hunger. So take those words to heart. It starts out as the feeling of a type of hunger that is almost obsessive. It's like if someone were just looking at you when you fell into the desire of something, by the way, it's not always up to you. It shows up, right? It comes to us. It's part of an emotional process. It's in our chemistry. And if someone were looking at you and you didn't realize they were looking at them, and suddenly they were just watching you for a day, they would see many times that you wanted and you hungered for something, and it would be written all over your face. And so get used to the fact that This is part of a channel that guarantees a feeling will get squeezed out. Ultimately, you'll be able to start to experience that. You'll have what it takes to persevere because of this opposition. While this is in the sky this week, this is the week to do stuff, just plain do stuff, literally, and you'll get that. And the feeling will be satiated. By the way, the feeling is the awareness. The feeling is the thing that makes all the sense in the world and makes it all make the rest of the way sense when you go and contemplate it later through the whole process of coming up through 46, and that whole channel above it. So root pressure out, and then suddenly sacral pressure up. That's what this does. The clinging fire, she's a real bitch sometimes. Sorry. I mean, to the person who's wearing a gate 30 or the this cross of contagion, it's a lot if they don't know what it is.
Yeah, I mean, the hexagrams, I mean, we'll get to that on a later slide, but it's fire over fire. So it's like the clinging fire feelings, passion. I know it's very intense, it's very powerful. I have a gate 41, but I don't have the 30. So sometimes I feel like it's like I wish I had that fiery passion to fuel that imagination and like creativity of the 41. At the same time, I've met people who have gate 30 that are like, even like, whoa, like way too fiery for me. It seems like too intensive and too kind of crazy unbridled at times.
41 hungers, but it can wait. It's the stress center. It's dealing with stress. It's the 30 that's like, is it stress? Is it too much stress? How much are we doing here? Let's do a little bit more. Is it going to be enough? It's not going to work. It never works. Its fear is the fear of fate itself. So Ra saw fit to do a whole class on just gate 30, the 6 lines of gate 30, keynoting them into our human existence, like overall. And it was brilliant. I'll send it to you, Moni. It's really good.
So here we have our incarnation crosses for the week. First up, we have the right angle cross of contagion, which adds the 8 and the 14 to the 29 and 30 we've been discussing. People who say yes to new and intimate experiences while looking for fulfillment through commitment, who are able to enter into an experiential process for the sake of the experience itself. Then we move into the juxtaposition cross of commitment, which adds the 20 and the 34. These are people fixed on saying yes to commitment. They are often sources of inspiration, like the saints who serve God until their death. Finally, we'll move into the left angle cross of industry, which also adds the 20 and the 34. These are people unaware of their enormous charismatic power who, with the right commitments, can persevere and shine.
The end of this story tells a lot about why the beginning of the story is where it's at. This cross of contagion that starts with gate 29, when it's allowing its sacral response to dig into the thing, it knows it's going to feel real good once it starts. That's the thing. So, hi, I know this is going to feel real good. Well, when you start something like that and that sacral energy starts pouring into it, and gate 8 says contribution, and gate 14 is this incredible power to push a direction upward, to push a direction, period, and make things start, get a lot of work done. Gate 14 does. This is contagion. This is the sense of, oh my God, it's happening, it's contributing, the work's getting done. We're committed, and it feels amazing. Gate 30 gives us the awareness of the feeling. That's why we're doing it in the first place, or at least half the reason. And it is contagious. So when gate 29 rings the bell, turns on the light of yes and acceptance and acquiescence and stepping in, when it turns that on, it's contagious, and the rest of the world thinks that's something. Hey, that is something. And the thing is, it's just this smidge away from the 20 and the 34. So it's sort of, you can tell it's going there. This juxtaposition cross of commitment, it speaks for itself. And then as it moves on to industry, industry says, back to the commitment real quick, you're fixed. You're a fixed commitment person. Your foundations are about the commitments you're going to make. The way you externalize it's about the commitments you want to make and that you feel like making and all of that stuff. So it's a very fixed place. Just realize that. And then you move on to industry after you've made the commitments, after you've felt the feelings, after the contagion kicks in and it gets the cognition working and you're now thinking about it and putting things together. What do we have? We have industry. We have industry, and we're in the time of the cross of the planning. This fits in so perfectly, and it's about to move to the Phoenix. That'll be the next one in line, and the Phoenix just is rises from the ashes. So it's funny, industry is not in. It's not in the quarter of civilization. Industry is in either initiation or duality. So I thought that was interesting, but industry is this moving and shaking. And the thing about industry people is you got to get used to the fact that you may start the commitment, but just like a maturation process, it doesn't mean you're going to be there. He says, I'm busy now. And it's not the best at making the industry finesse itself. That's coming up later as we come to refinement and things like that. It very often starts it. It's so akin to the start. Big 34 is such a powerful thing. It's far more akin to the gate 52 of its format, more so gate 53, right? Gate 53 of its format rather than the gate 42, because it's just busy and it wants to start. It always wants to start, and each new response is a start to something. So this enormous charismatic power makes industry. The name is well deserved, is the thing. So this movement really takes us through a piece of the wheel that's all about, and we're in the quarter duality, so we're hooking up with other people. This industry is meant to be shared, even though it's the 2034 channel of charisma. So share it we must, start it we must, finish it not necessarily, because busy now, right? I'm busy now, and it's not always busy doing the exact same thing, and it's about to lose the commitment. That's the thing about industry. It's forever about to lose the commitment. Someone else is going to pick that up. So get used to that. It's a lot like the clinging fire. Get used to it. Get used to the fact that you can't always get what you want. And if you're the industry person, get used to the fact that very often you're the starter of it, not necessarily the finisher of it. And then prepare to rise, because the Phoenix is next.
Next up, we have our hexagrams for the week. First, we have the sun in gate 29, which is perseverance. In my I Ching book, it reads as repeating chasms.
Repeating chasms?
This is a weird one, Danny.
It is weird. I just read on so I can compare what they're saying about the start of it.
Absolutely.
Repeating chasms.
Right? The trigrams are water over water. The image reads, waters flow on and reach the end, repeating chasms. A noble one, consistent in character and action, teaches things by repeating. Many small tributaries flow together to create a broad river. Many small commitments flow together to create a powerful character. A noble one understands that just one extraordinary leap of faith is not enough. By acting consistently, he creates a continuity of principles that people can depend on when all else is in flux. Such repetition is a way of conveying a message to others, and sometimes also convincing and changing yourself as you learn more skillful ways of thinking. This is like the water. It carves out a course and creates its own momentum.
Momentum. This is one of the words I used to describe it when we were talking on the other section. That fits. That totally fits, because it allows this persistence, this persistence, this persistence. That's gate 29. If nothing else, it is persistent when it commits its energy. If you're a generator and you have a gate 29, you'll know its sound, because it'll say, like, and off it will go. Its energy will go there. And if you have a gate 29 and an open sacral, it'll still say, yes, let's do the thing. You just have to be careful that it truly is the right thing for you, right? It's going to make an impact. Did you feel invited? Is it helping you see more clearly within your lunar cycle? Then gate 29 is acting correctly for you, or you're acting correctly with it. And if not, you'll see, you'll get into commitments you didn't want to get into. So do be careful of that.
Next up, we have the earth in gate 30, which is the clinging fire. In my I Ching book, it reads as clarity, because the trigrams are fire over fire, and fire is about clarity. So that's kind of fun that makes sense. The image reads, doubled light gives rise to clarity. Great people with continuous light illuminate the four regions. The trigram for fire and light is doubled in this hexagram, both inside and outside. This is not just a flash of light that vanishes into the gloom, but continuous illumination. The inner awareness of great people shines out. spreading understanding further and further into the world. Perhaps not because of how brightly it burns, but because it is an unbroken stream of light.
That's adorable. Brought into the human condition, this fire over fire is, by the way, that is a pretty good description because it is constantly clarifying. If you think about clarifying your butter, that means you put it over the fire to remove the fat part from this part, melt it
Makes
down. So, yeah, clarifying is a fired process. Same with a kiln or pottery or glazing your pottery, all of that stuff. So, but the clarifying just besides the fire burns away the stuff that's not supposed to be there, and it allows the gate 30 to recognize its limitation so that its feeling isn't just dismissed as something that's only a hunger you'll never get, because that's the melancholy. That, I mean, when I say the melancholy, that's one of the ways sadness and this emotional wave will will torture the person if they have the emotional definition here is because they can't have that feeling. But this is just talking about the wise process of being willing to start something. And by the way, its light will always shine, but that's the light of the being. Gate 30's light is meant to work in a wave, shining sometimes, totally off others. You know, I mean, it's never off as in it's not working, but it's not shining the brightest light because it's now going into its wave down so it can get the intelligence of it and gain that awareness that comes from the emotional movement of our solar plex center. It's our third awareness. It only came online 244 years ago. I mean, literally and a half at this point, 244 and a half approximately. But that's not very long. We're just getting used to it, barely just now. So we can speed up that process with awareness. Here it is. Read the book. We'll speed up evolution by reading books. Go figure. The spoken word, just like God said.
In the beginning was the word.
That's, I mean, I'm coming to believe that our words as we say it create something. It sure does.
Yeah, I mean, in the simplest sense, like either you're blessing or you're cursing. If you're making things nicer with the words that you speak, it's a blessing. And if you're being a jerk and if you're being meh and unkind, then it's a
Yeah.
curse. You're cursing, right? When somebody comes around in a bad mood, it does. It curses the space. It makes it worse. When someone's all bright and bubbly, it lifts everyone up. So there's something to it.
I like it. So I like this I Ching language for both of them. You know, it's nice. I'm glad I got a moment to add my 2025 take on all of that.
So, tying it all together, what can we tell our audience? What can they see with this? How can they play with the sun in gate 29 and the earth in gate 30?
This is an amazing spot if you're emotionally defined in your body graph to allow yourself to move through the wave and see why it moves. So if you've been wondering what that emotional wave is, this is a week to totally allow it because we're talking about it. We're telling you, we're showing it. And now with awareness and all the words we just spoke at you, you can realize, oh my God, I do go down because I think I want it. If you're open emotionally, these two gates are in the sky. You know, they are formatting and controlling us, and we're in it as a program. And this is a time to totally allow yourself to hunger for that feeling. Allow the feeling that just comes in. It might even be through a mental process that invokes a feeling inside of you. It could be through anything. You could have a splenic hit on something. Someone could say something. You could generate a response. You know, I'll go through all the types, but it's going to be the same thing. And whatever it is, this is a spot to learn. So part of me almost want, you know, I always tell my students, it's important you make mistakes with awareness. You know, don't call them mistakes. It's important you learn things. So purposely go ahead and do the thing wrong. I mean, because you can't help it anyways. Half the time, as we decondition, we constantly fall into our not self themes. So allow it so you can watch it. You know, however, follow your strategy and authority before you say yes to anything big. And if it's medium and enough and on down, such that it's not going to change your whole life if you don't get it and you start something, watch what it's like to have a sacral perseverance to a feeling, because that's what's happening this week. So start something, make something, break something, pull something apart, put something back together, pitch your boss for an idea, ask for a raise, whatever it is, do something that has already captured your feeling center in the first place. So it's something that's probably already there, lingering. This is to do something, man. It's contagion. It's contagion. Do something, whatever.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's all really solid. And just like wrap it around is with the Earth in gate 30. So being grounded in our desires and our passions.
Yeah.
And
Right.
then,
That's a grounding.
yeah, and being grounded in that. And then so the sun can shine that devotion, that commitment to something that you're really into. So it's like, I don't know, give it time for that wave, because it's going to be an emotional process. But yeah, like find your grounding and like what is it that you do desire and that you want to put that like devotion into when the time is right, and then follow your strategy and authority and let the right thing come around, and respond accordingly and appropriately for your type and authority, and see where that takes you.
It sounds counterintuitive, right? To say you're grounded in desires and passion and want and hunger, right? We're not supposed to be grounded in that, right? We're supposed to be careful of that. That's what that's what most of the memos tell us.
But it
Right?
feels like more secure, because I feel with like gate 30, that clinging fire, that passion, it could be almost so fiery that having it be grounded kind
That's
of
a
makes,
grounding.
well, and it makes it more of like a nice rolling fire as opposed to like a crazy like wildfire or something on dry brush.
Totally.
I feel like it could be kind of contained in it, of like, I don't know, like a really like solid kind of way. I think it can give it like earthing, grounding. I think it could be a positive effect.
Well, what I like about what you just said is just this fact that um, for for 6 days out of the year, 6.5 days out of every single year for infinity, I mean, since all of our time anyway, passion and desire and movement through a feeling that's not logical is also one of humanity's grounding points. Sometimes that grounds us, right? I mean, that's what the story tells us. That's what the movement around the wheel and the program is saying. Hey, kids, go freak out a little. That's what the program's saying. We got you. The program's got you. I mean, I love that, right? When I was little, it sometimes just ran and did the thing because it just had this crazy feeling. You just want to feel it.
Well, and it's like that intensity of like summer too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it's like, I feel like we kind of hit the summer solstice with gate 15, and then it's just like, go, 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 go. And
Yep.
by the time you're like, what is this, mid-August, you're just like, I kind of want fall to happen already. You're like, no, keep going, all this fiery energy. It's got to get out now. So then you can make it to fall and everything like that. But it feels like it starts to get to this like, we're getting to the end of summer. Whatever you want to do, get it going, because it's going to be cold soon. Kind of vibe to it.
By the time you said yes to something, the world's pattern in the program will change into the sleeping phoenix. That's where things are designed to rise. So say yes to something so you can see what that's like. And if it's a nervous thing and you weren't sure about it, it's disorganized energy, but you say yes anyways, that's great. Just pay close attention that you didn't follow your strategy and authority in that moment. So the next time, when I say next time, you don't have to wait till next year. Now that you have this experience, you still get the experience is the point. Now that you have this experience of what we're talking about in that moment, you'll be wiser next week as the phoenix attempts to rise. That phoenix energy is incredible. It's going to be in the sky. This is one of those times where at the moment of its changing is a decent time to go people watching wherever you can go, see what happens. Of course, it's already almost there. The left angle isn't that much different from the new right angle as far as I'm concerned. Both emotional processes, right? So both is one emotions, one sacral, and this is the same. 29 will go to 59, and 30 will go to 55, right? So
yeah,
be prepared.
be grounded in your passions and your desires so you can shine the perseverance and devotion of gate 29. Follow your strategy and authority, have fun with it, and then we're going to get real busy in another week or so when we hit the sleeping phoenix energy.
I got nothing else to add. We're good.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Danny. Thank you to everyone who's watching and liking, subscribing, commenting, doing the stuff. Thank you for hanging out, and we'll see you next week.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Much love.